What is going on, everybody? This is S Trades, and this is day 7 of the boot camp. And in this video, we're going to be talking about trading psychology. Now, we went into a lot of technicals, and I decided to take a quick break from it and just kind of give another yap session and just talk about trading psychology because, in my opinion, that is like one of the most important factors in this industry. And if you don't master your psychology after like getting your strategy and everything, then most likely you will not be successful. Without further ado, let's get straight into the video. Now, what do I mean when I say trading psychology, right? Everyone, depending on your level of trading knowledge, if you're a beginner or if you're intermediate, or you've been trading for a while, everyone heard of trading psychology. Everybody heard of the emotions and stuff like that. Those are very important aspects of trading. Now, trading psychology is, what is it derived from, right? Obviously, first you need a set in stone strategy. You need something to follow, right? You need like a certain playbook, a certain method to trade the markets, right? And only then after that, obviously, if it's profitable or not, then you'll be having to deal with your trading psychology, which comes kind of later down the line, right? Now, you'll be experiencing trading psychology right off the bat as well. We as humans have these feelings naturally, and it's impossible to just go ahead and remove them, right? So, some of the things that are containing in trading psychology, for example, greed, fear, right? Which are one of the most important like things in trading, right? You take a trade, you lose that trade, and you want to make the money back. You're greedy, and you don't want to accept the loss, right? All these different things that are going to be playing into the way you trade is, you might at the moment, if you're a beginner, you might seem like how is my psychology just impact my whole entire trading. But trust me, like the majority of the people that fail in trading isn't because they can't look at the charts, isn't because they can't look at certain technicals or not learn certain indicators or whatever. No, that's the easiest part, right? Like finding the I mean, obviously finding the strategy isn't like so easy, but once you find your strategy and once you kind of have a certain system to follow, it's pretty easy. Like you could literally learn a strategy and find a decent strategy within a month or two. That's even a lot. Like you could probably find it in even a less period of time, right? But once you actually find the training strategy, stick into the same rules, stick into the things that you put in your rule book, right? Like taking 1 to 2 trades a day. If you lose once, you have one more try, and then you lose second. That's it. You just have to close the charts, right? So these little things, right? It might seem like it's easy, like oh, like I lose 1 or 2 times, I'm just gonna quit. Like I'm just gonna leave the charts. I'm not gonna overtrade or anything like that. But trust me, there's a certain thing in your brain, right? Like again, if you're a beginner, this might seem like easy to you, which is kind of good because if you learn this as a beginner, you kind of, it's not that you're going to be cutting a corner, but like you'll be kind of getting the idea and just kind of how to overcome that earlier, right? Because it's better obviously done earlier than later. Now, like I said earlier, right, we humans, we will have emotions no matter what you do, no matter how mechanical your trading strategy is, right? Like you'll always have emotions, right? You'll always, fear, like if you're in a drawdown, right, you're not going to want to be losing, right? And if you're in profit, you might sometimes want to be taking the profits too early to secure some profits, right? Or you might be greedy, or if you lose, you're going to want to make the money back, and all these things, right? It's natural, right? Every human, it's, you can't delete those emotions, right? You're not a robot, you're not able to do that. But what you are able to do is either a, act on those emotions, or two, control the emotions, right? Now, you, again, like I said, there's no way to remove those emotions, no matter if you're trading for the first 2 3 months or if you've been trading for 10 years. Everybody has those emotions. Don't listen to any of these gurus that say like, oh, like I'm a robot, or like I'm just trading without any emotions. Everybody has emotions, no matter what they say. Like everybody has these emotions, so when they enter a trade, but it's just the matter of how you control it, or do you act on those emotions, right? So if you're the type of a person, for example, like me, I have still till this day a lot of problems with my trading psychology. I believe that I have a certain set of rules and certain strategy that is proven to work over time, right? And my last like bit of the piece that's left in this, you could call the secret, right, or whatever, is psychology. Like there's nothing else that, like, it comes to a point once you learn all the technicals that you need to know for your trading strategy, right? Once you like have the ins and outs, right? It's just a matter of following it. Like it's as simple as it gets. Like there's no secret to it. There's no like, it's just like any other sport or any other video game that you play, right? You don't, once you get into something, you're gonna be bad at it. You're gonna be ass, right? What are you gonna have to do? You have to train, right? You have to keep on doing the same thing over and over again. Once you do it repetitively, like multiple times, slowly seeing progression, you're gonna start seeing that you're becoming better at a certain thing, right? So something crazy actually just happened in the middle of this recording. My recording actually stopped, and I was yapping for like 10 minutes, and I'm not sure what I missed and what I didn't. So I'm gonna try to kind of rewind back. So if I look like I'm a little confused or not knowing if I'm repeating myself, then that's probably why. But let's get back to the video. Trading is all about time, right? Like you need time in the market. You don't just expect to come in as a newbie, right? As a first year or whatever, or first month, right? And then just start making money, right? You will get lucky. A lot of people, including me, right? You start getting into the market, you get lucky, you start getting that winning streak or whatever, and then that's it. You think you have everything figured out, and then the market absolutely humbles you. Like there's literally, that's kind of how it happens. Like for example, me, when I just started trading, I was trading options and I was banking. Like I was making so much money off the bat, and I'm like, bro, like I have this thing figured out. That's it. Like I'm gonna just retire. And I was in high school still at the time, and I was like I'm done. Like I don't need anything. I'm literally chilling. But then I got humbled because then at that point trading psychology kicked in, right? Because you could only get lucky for a certain period of time, and then that luck is gonna run out. And then you're gonna actually have to face trading and actually apply all the rules and apply all the strategies and actually be professional with it, because it's not just a random like side hustle or whatever. If you guys hear that trading is like a side hustle, it's not. Trading psychology is something that you're gonna have to do full time. You have to put all your efforts into it if you actually want to make it like make it out in this industry and make decent amounts of money. So like I said, you start putting in the time, right? You find the trading strategy that works for you. Again, it depends on what kind of a trader you are. Once you actually find the strategy, you have to practice it, right? You have to keep on back testing it, right? For example, my strategy, right? When I found, like, I've traded multiple strategies throughout my career, and like I found this one strategy that actually works and makes sense in my head. So what I did was I back tested it, right? So what is back testing? If you guys don't know, you go on this platform called Forex FX Replay, right? And you pretty much just trade. Like you trade for previous historical data, and it gives you like analytics on your strategy, like how often does it work, is like how what's the winning percentage, what's the losing percentage, all this crazy good analytics. It gives it to you, it provides it for you. So once you find the strategy, you have to go and back test it. So in my case, right, I got the strategy and I back tested it for years, right? I went back to 2023, 2022, 2021, 2020, and you can go ahead and etc. So I kept on back testing, right? I kept on trading the same strategies, following the same sets of rules, same sets of principles, like everything that includes in my strategy, I pretty much followed it, right? But there was zero emotions involved, right? It's just a way to kind of prove if your strategy works over time or not. So in my case, it worked 70% of the time, and 30% of the time I was losing. How did I know that? How did I come up with these numbers? Is because I back tested and I found out that, okay, there you go. My strategy works 70% of the time. And in my mind, it's fine. Like I'd rather win more rather than try to catch all these like 1 to 6 RR, 1 to 20 RR. Like I don't really care about those kind of trades. I'd rather win more, because losing, in my opinion, in my in my inner psychological like self, losing like affects me a lot. That's the biggest challenge that I face, is losing, right? But so in my case, what did it mean, right? So 70% of the time I win. That means the other 30% of the time I will lose, right? You just have to accept that, right? Trading, there's no 100% winning guaranteed strategy. You're gonna lose, right? You're gonna lose no matter what you do, no matter if you like try to make your money back. Like you will lose for the long period of time, right? You can't escape that, right? This is the kind of game. This is the industry that you're deciding to go in. So you have to know this. There's no 100% winning strategy. If you see it anywhere online, like, oh, like follow this 100% winning strategy, they're capping. They're capping. They're trying to either sell you the course or let you join their signaling Discord or something like that. They're just capping, okay? So the reason why is because market is unpredictable. Nobody could predict the market. Nobody could tell where the market is gonna go. Like the market, as you guys can see now, is just dumping. Like we've been so super volatile, right? And nobody could foresee that. Like, yeah, obviously tariffs came out of nowhere, and then boom, the markets are dumping. But nobody knows at what point is it gonna reverse. Are we gonna keep on dumping? Are we gonna reverse? Nobody knows that, right? So that's the trick in trading, right? Because you are in the field of uncertainty, right? You're literally trading being uncertain, and you somehow have to make it work, right? So the reason why, again, the statistics that keeps on showing up, everyone keeps talking about how like 90, 95, and even like 98% of traders fail, is why? Because people end up following their strategy for some period of time, right? But then when the aspect of trading psychology kicks in, they can't master it, right? It's not because the traders aren't able to find like a strategy that works. They aren't able to understand the technicals. No, that is not the problem. The problem is their psychology, their emotions. They can't conquer themselves. They can't conquer their emotions, right? Because trading is like a reflective mirror, right? It will show you who you are off the chart. So if you're a lazy person off the charts, if you don't have any discipline, if you're not a hardworking person, what makes you think you're gonna be that type of a person on the charts? Now, it might sound silly, like where's the correlation, right? Now, if you wake up in the morning, right, you don't make the bed, you don't, I don't know, make money, you don't go to the gym, you don't do all these things, you don't have your day kind of packed with doing certain, like all the busy stuff. You're not busy, right? You don't have a certain rules. You just kind of live your life doing whatever. Like your parents are giving you money, you're just playing video games all day. Trading is not gonna work, bro. Like no matter how hard you try, like you have to change yourself as a person, right? Because if you're not disciplined, you're not going to be disciplined and on trading, right? Like if you can't follow simple rules in life, if you can't simply just wake up in the morning, do all these little things that are going to like, add up eventually, you won't follow the rules on trading themselves. Like you won't do it on the charts either, okay? I'll give you my personal example, right? I'm an athlete, right? I'm a student athlete. I'm a wrestler at my college, right? And for me, I hate losing, right? I can't stand losing, right? Every time I lose in wrestling, every time I lose just in life in general, like, you know, it gets to me like very, very like it gets me too much. Like I start tweaking, I start tripping, like I get very emotional, I get not in terms of me like crying or whatever, but like I get super mad, I get very moody, like I can't stand taking losses in general, right? Not just wrestling or whatever. So that is a perfect reflection of how I am on the charts because every single time I lose in trading, I crash out. Like that is the one like biggest problem that I have. I can't accept a loss. Right? The fact that I have every statistic that I need and every like I have all the evidence that I need to prove that okay, I could be profitable, but I just have to lose 30% of the time. I just can't accept that. Every time I take a loss in trading, like previously, like I'm starting to slowly get better at it, but every time I take a loss, I try to make my money back. I just refuse to lose. Like it's just everyone's gonna have their own problems. People are probably gonna have problems like over trading and making their money back. They get greedy. They maybe hold on to trades for longer than they should have, or they just take profits too early. There's so many psychological problems that I can't simply put it all into this video, and you're gonna kind of naturally discover yourself as you trade. Right? Trading is literally the hardest way to make easy money. Like it looks so simple and easy. You're literally just pressing on a random like you're pressing on some few buttons and you could make so much money, right? Now, why do so much people fail, right? Like it seems easy on the videos that people make, right? It looks very easy, but once you're actually in that field, once you're actually putting your own money on the line, once you start seeing red, once you start seeing minus 200, minus 300, you're gonna start tripping. Like your head is gonna start making scenarios. So it's really hard to just conquer all your emotions. It's impossible to do that, right? Like you can't simply just become a robot, but there's a way to control it, right? Like that's what the hardest part about trading is actually like being able to control your emotions and not act upon it, right? Because it's not impossible. It is very hard. Hence why 95 or 98, whatever the statistic is at the moment, of the traders fail. Like why is it so big? Because people simply can't conquer themselves, right? They can't like it's a game of you sitting down, fully reflecting upon who you are as a person, and if you're able to make a change, if you're able to like overcome your fears, if you're able to overcome your greediness, if you always like if you can overcome taking losses and all these sorts of stuff, like it it seems really easy, but it's really not. Like it takes such a long time, right? That's why I said in the beginning of the video, it's like a sport. It's like a video game, right? It will take time in order for you to work it out. You just have to keep on practicing in the live markets. You have to back test. You have to do all these things that you need to do in order to see any kind of results, right? This is something that I want to show you guys. This is my 100K Express account, as you guys could see in the top left corner. And I took a screenshot of this just because I wanted to reflect on it and I wanted to use it to show you guys the reality of trading, right? No, not a lot of people are going to show you this. Not a lot of people are going to actually show you how they trade and all their statistics. But like I said, my motto is kind of me being very transparent with you guys. So this is the reason why I wanted to show you guys, right? So this was in March, right? I just want to show you guys why trading psychology is, in my mind, like the majority of trading and the decisive point of you either becoming profitable or not, right? So as you guys could see, this is my 100K Express account that I had, right? Obviously I blew that account, as you guys can see right here, 56 goddamn trades, right? But we'll get into this later. So what happened here, right? As you guys could see, I had one of the best months in March, right? Like I was on a winning streak for the entire month, right? Even before this, right? This 100K Express started on the 7th, but even prior to that on the evals, I was just winning. Like I was not losing a single day in this month, right? I was just winning. I was unstoppable. Like legit, I thought I had everything figured out, and I was literally like, "Yo, I'm him. I'm dropping out of college next week, and I'm just gonna become him." Right now, again, the market humbled me really, really bad. Like I opened my eyes to again trading psychology because at the end of the day, in my mind, in my opinion, and a lot of people agree to this, but it all comes down back to trading psychology. Once you actually develop a system that's profitable over the long run, it all just comes down to trading psychology. Now, remember how earlier I said I'm just not able to take losses at all? Like, losses just kind of hit the spot. Like, they just, I don't know, something inside me gets triggered where I just refuse to take a loss. And it clearly reflected here. So I trade micros, so a lot of these trades are gonna look like it's a lot, but it's just me taking profit a lot of the time. So, for example, this is just one trade, but it's reflected as two because I took one partial and then my fully TP got hit. So a lot of these numbers you could divide it by two or even divide it by three because I at least partial once or twice, right? So we started this express on a Friday, right? Boom! I took a trade. I got 337. Went forward again. Mind you guys that this whole entire week and even the month prior, I was winning. Like I did not have a single losing day this month, right? So boom, what happens on Monday? We win. Then I had a very big day on the Tuesday. I got almost $1,300, right? Now I kind of messed up on a few of these trades because I was just taking some mid setups and I kept getting break even, and it was really honestly just my fault, right? But we ended up actually catching like A plus here, A plus here. So all these were pretty good days and setups that I had, right? So boom, we have this whole entire green month, right? We're taking two trades, we're taking one trade, we're taking like a few trades here and there, right? What happens then, right? I take like a day off of here because I got like a payout, and this is gonna be my second payout that I was gonna get. So I was very, very like hyped about it, and I was like, bro, I'm about to get my second payout from this account alone, and I was just hyped. Okay, what happened, right? We came for Friday. I took a loss, right? I took a loss, and I just refused to stop on that loss. I thought I was unstoppable. I was like, bro, I just had the biggest month of my life. I was winning every single day on all these eval accounts prior. I was winning on this 100K Express account. I was unstoppable, right? All of these green trades that I ended up piling up just all got erased within a single trading day, right? I took probably like 20 trades, like, yes, probably like 20 trades on this Friday because I kept trying to make my money back. I just refused to take a loss, right? Now, if I just simply followed my strategy that said 30% of the time you're supposed to lose. So every time that I lose, I close the market. I get one chance, right? So I lose one time and I get one more chance. And if I don't win and I end up losing again, close the charts, you're done for the day. Which is what happened here, right? I could have just closed my charts. I was down like 500 on this day, right? It was nothing. Like I was so much up in profit. I was chilling. My balance was decent. Like I wasn't tripping about anything. I was down like 4 or 500. So instead, I ended up blowing the entire account because I simply refused to lose. So I took a L, took another trade, took a smaller L, and then it kept piling up, kept piling up, kept piling up. And at some point, I was like negative 1,200, I believe. Yes, it was like negative 1,200. And then I'm like, bro, like I might blow up my account. Like I need to chill out. In my head subconsciously is literally telling me just get off the charts. You could make that money back next week. Just keep this account. You'll be fine, right? But no, my emotions ended up taking over, and I just over traded the hell of that account. I started putting more leverage, right? I usually trade like 4 micros, 5 micros, which is why you see me making very small amounts of money. But I was fine with that. I wasn't trying to make millions and that's funded, okay? I was trying to keep it for the long term, right? And I ended up losing the whole account. I lost 2K just in one day, just like that. I lost the 2K, my balance went to zero, and I ended up blowing the account. So if this doesn't show you guys why trading psychology is such a major role, like even the next trade, like this is the other thing that I took, right? In my trading strategy, every time that I hold the trade for longer, I always, majority of the time, end up winning because I don't move my stop losses. I don't mess around. I don't exit my positions, and I don't do anything. I just let the trade play out. And every time that I do that, I win. Right here, looking at the win rate analysis, 1 to 2 hours, I had 100% winning strategy, right? 100% win rate. 5 to 10 minutes, 100%. And as the time went lower, as I try to be less and less inside the trades, the win rate went lower and lower and lower. As you guys can see, 1 to 2 minutes, 60%, 45 seconds, 60%, 15 to 45 seconds, 52, and under 15, 46. So this is literally kind of just reflective of how my personality is. Like, I want to be in and out of trades fast, right? Like, I want to be in and out of trade. I don't want to hold them for longer. I can't like stand the loss factor that I could have in the trade, right? I don't want to lose, especially on my express accounts. But although whenever I do hold the trades for longer, I always tend to win, right? So like I said, no one's really going to show you this. No one's going to show you their statistics. No one's going to show you their losses, right? Everyone's only going to show you their wins and just, trying to lure you in. But the reason why I show you guys this is because for you guys to realize how important trading psychology actually is. And in my case, right, like I said earlier, I can't accept a loss. I start going crazy, right? And literally that account, I ended up blowing up. And one singular day that I ended up building for the entire month. For the 2 weeks that I was trading it, I kept on building it slowly and slowly and slowly. And that one single day that I couldn't simply just take the loss, I ended up blowing the entire account, right? So like I said, guys, trading psychology, in my opinion, is very important, but don't get it twisted, right? Like, if you don't have a trading strategy that is proven to work, if you don't have it that is like consistently bringing you profits across like a long period of time, then you can't talk about trading psychology, right? First, you obviously need to get the strategy, right? First, you need to do your own research. You need to do your own back testing, right? You need to find the strategy, because that's where everything derives from. Once you find the strategy, right? Once you know that the trading strategy works, you have the rules, you have everything that you need to have in order to succeed, then and only then is when trading psychology matters. And if you don't realize this sooner, you'll just, face the consequences of losing money left and right. Like, the amount of evals that I lost and still lose until this day, because I simply can't accept the fact that, for example, I can't lose, right? I can't accept the fact that I'm losing. I end up over leveraging after. I over trade to make my money back, and then it always ends up losing. Like, it never ever, it could help you kind of save you 1 time, 2 times, but the market is always going to take the money back that you don't deserve, right? If you randomly derived away from your strategy, like if you just took a random ass setup, right, that has nothing to do with your strategy and you won, that is not a W day. That is not your money. You're not supposed to be happy about that day, because the market is going to take that money away from you, because it's not your strategy. You did not backtest a single day for that strategy, right? And that's what I realized just recently, right? There will be days sometimes where, I'm following my strategy, right? And then just out of nowhere, right, I'm like, my head just kind of stops working, right? And then I end up just taking a random ass like strategy or some random trade that I never even like trade. For example, order block, right? I don't trade order blocks, right? And then I'm like, oh, order block tap, it must be respected, and boom, and I enter the trade, right? And sometimes I win, right? Sometimes I win, get lucky, and I feel happy, and like I get those endorphins, right? But bro, it's not gonna stay there. Like, it's not your strategy. You don't have any statistics for that strategy. The money is always gonna go away. Like, the market is gonna take away for what you don't deserve, right? So the mindset that you guys should develop as a trader isn't you making money or not, which sounds kind of stupid. Like, everybody's here in the markets to make money, to like become rich, to become financially free, right? But this process isn't about you rushing it, trying to like make money as fast as you can, because if you try to do that, you're gonna lose, right? You can't set a time horizon, right? You can't set a time limit for like, okay, I want to make 10K a month by next month or next 2 months, whatever. Because what will happen is, let's say you have a week left, right, and you haven't made the 10K. What are you gonna do? Your head automatically will start playing with you, because it'll be like, well, I haven't made the 10K. I gotta do something. I gotta force trades. I gotta start taking random setups because I need to win, right? Your head, like, your mindset, your mind is so complex that you guys don't even understand. You will discover all of this once you start doing it in a live market. Once you start being surrounded by this environment constantly, then you'll start to discover who you are as a person, what's your cons, what's your pros. Like, you'll start seeing this, and the markets will literally uncover everything. Like, it will literally show you who you are as a person from the bottom to the top, right? The mindset that you guys should have is, if you follow your rules, then it's a W day, no matter if it's a win or a loss, right? Not if you make the money on the day, then it's a W or a loss, right? You have to journal the trades, right? You have to journal the trades after that. Like, for example, you took a trade today, right? Win or loss, you go ahead, open up your journal. It could be on an app or physical, whatever, however you guys want it, right? And you just journal. You journal your emotions, you journal your plan, you journal your bias. You be like, okay, so this is what my pre-market plan was, and this is the trade that I took. Did it follow my plan? Did it follow my strategy? Now, you start reflecting on that trading journal, right? And let's say you lost on that trading day, but you followed all of the rules that you have in your rule book. It's a W day. It's not an L day just because you lost money, because the market in the market is uncertain and you will lose. There's no trading strategy, like I said, that has 100% win rate. So if you lose but you follow your strategy and your rules, it's a W day, right? And the other way, it's the same way. If you take a random trade and you win money on it, trust me, that money is not gonna stay with you. It's gonna go right back, literally even the next trade. Like, it happens to me all the time. So don't get happy just because you won money on a random gambling trade, because if you're gambling, you're gonna lose. There's no, like, if you're taking randomized trades, it's gambling. There's no strategy behind it. You're gambling. There's no sorts of statistic behind it. There's no difference between the actual gambling and trading at that point, right? Now, what you guys have to also realize is trading is literally, like, trading psychology derives obviously from your psychological inner self and everything. And so what happens, right, whenever you win, right? Your endorphins start to rise, and you start feeling that sensation of like pleasure, right? You're like, oh my god, I just won this amount of money and I'm feeling happy, right? Your endorphins are getting released, your hormones are acting, like you're feeling very, very happy. Trading literally revolves around dopamine, right? Like, every single time that you take a trade and you win, right? Like, you win the money, you're right on your trading plan or whatever, the dopamine hits, right? Like, you feel amazing. You're like, oh my, like, I just won this trade, I won this money, and you feel rewarded. You feel happy that you won this trade, right? So the problem is, a lot of people that overtrade, a lot of people that do all these mistakes, right? They over leverage, they try to get their money back, and there are going to be times where you get lucky again, right? And let's say you lost on a day and then you were down $1,000, and then you somehow luckily over leveraged, put on double the size, and then the trade just ended up going your way just by accident. Like, you literally just gambled on it and you got lucky, right? It happens, right? Like, so what happens there is, why is it so bad for you to do that? Is because then your head automatically, like, your dopamine levels again get rewarded. Like, you feel rewarded, your dopamine level rises, and then you feel good. You're like, oh my god, I just bought myself out of this $1,000 loss, and now I'm up. And you don't obviously like sell this to yourself, but like, it happens subconsciously, and you get automatically like hooked into that feeling, right? You kind of get attached to that feeling. So the next day, right, what happens? You're at a loss, right? And you're like, well, I just did the same thing yesterday. Like, I lost 1,000. I could bring my money up again because I already did it once, right? That's kind of your head's telling you this subconsciously, right? Because you got rewarded for this dopamine, right? Your dopamine rose at the time. So now your brain recognizes that, and you're like, okay, let me try that again. And you maybe get lucky again. And then the more times that you get lucky and the more times you keep making these mistakes, you get used to that mistake, and you do not want to let it go because you're so hooked into that. Your brain, your feelings, and everything, you miss that feeling, right? So every time that you make a mistake like that, you're going to want to do it again. You take a loss, you're going to want to make your money back. You get used to it, and then at some point you crash out. You lose everything, you lose the entire portfolio because it doesn't work. You could get lucky a few times, but for the long term, it's not going to work. So instead, what you should be doing, right? Instead of trying to feeling good when you win in terms of money, you should kind of have that dopamine kind of get used to you following your rules, right? So every time that you win a trade or even lose a trade, but you follow the rules, right? You should make your dopamine levels feel happy, and you should feel happy about that because you follow the rules, right? Go and treat yourself, do something nice about it, kind of make yourself feel proud, make yourself feel better that you follow the rules. Once you start kind of changing the way you think about and look at the markets, right, it's gonna change everything, because now your dopamine and everything inside your head, inside all your psychological stuff, it will feel good when you follow the rules. You're gonna start, sticking to your rules. You're not gonna try to go look for these gambling trades. You're not gonna take these random setups that aren't part of your strategy, because you know for the long term it's not gonna work, and you already seen it, right? You've failed multiple times. And another thing is, right, you have to go and fail. Like, you will, no matter what I tell you guys this, but you guys have to go and experience it yourself. You're gonna have to go feel that pain yourself. You're gonna have to feel the pain of you losing money, to lose the money to gambling. You have to lose money taking random trades. You have to lose the money to over leveraging, over trading, trying to make the money back, or not taking profits where you're supposed to, trying to like hope for the freaking, I don't know, like a meme coin 10 times percent or up or whatever, right? You're gonna have to feel all of that firsthand in order for you to actually realize and change, right? There's so many more things that goes into this. It's not just whatever I mentioned. I don't want to keep you guys even waiting for longer because this video is already hella long. But the main points that I guys want to leave you guys off of with is find a trading strategy, right? Find the thing that makes sense in your head, right? In reality, a lot of these trading strategies work, but you just have to find what makes sense for you, right? You have to find something that you're comfortable with trading, something that you understand, and something that you have the data, not just like a week or a month worth of data, but like years. You have to back test that so much to the point where every time you see it, you could just tell that that's my strategy right there. Like if I ask you what's your trading strategy and you can't just tell me straight up, okay, boom, boom, I have to wait for this, I have to wait for that. And if you don't have like some sort of a checklist, you're gambling. It's not trading anymore because you're just simply gambling. You don't have a rule book, you don't have a strategy that you follow, right? 2, journal. Journal all the trades, losses and wins. How did you feel? How did you feel before? How did you feel after? Did you follow the rule? Did you gamble? Did you take some stupid? Write down your emotions, write down everything that you feel, and then go back to it later on. Reflect on it, change your mistakes, because if you don't journal, how the hell are you going to change, right? You're going to keep on making the same mistakes. You're going to keep on doing the same shit over and over again. You're never going to change because you keep on making the same mistakes over and over again. And the only thing that can change it is if you look at the journal, you see these mistakes, and you change them, okay? 3rd, do not hop from one strategy to another, right? Once you find a strategy that works and makes sense in your head, stick to it. Do not jump from one trading strategy to another just because you've been on a few days losing streak or a week or a month or whatever. I've been to a point where I've been weeks on losing evals left and right, losing my fundeds for weeks, right? But you have to stick to your strategy because trading is a statistical kind of environment. It's all about probabilities. It's not about how like you're gonna win every single day or whatever. No, you have probabilities that you're gonna win. Market is unpredictable. You can't predict the market, and you just have to deal with it if you want to be in this trading space for the long term. Now, all these bad feelings that I told you, like over trading, over leveraging, trying to make your money back, or all these sorts of stuff, you have to go and experience them yourself in order for you to change. But the earlier you realize, obviously, the better it will be because you'll lose less money, and then you will realize it eventually earlier than other people, right? So, yeah, that's kind of the video for today, guys. It's gonna be a pretty long video, but I'm gonna be making a lot of more of these like psychological talks and videos and stuff like that because it's very important, right? It's very important once you find the strategy or whatever. If you want to be here for the long term, right? It's gonna take a long time. Don't expect this to work out in a week or two or a month or whatever. It's gonna take you years. If you're not willing to sit down, put your head down, lose the money, right? And then another part is, right, it's so crazy because your human body naturally is like resistant to losing. When what field are you just gonna sit there and then lose constantly back to back? You don't have a guaranteed set that you're gonna make it out on trading. It's so uncertain, right? You're literally in a field full of uncertainty. This is why it's so hard because you don't have anything to look forward to because there's a lot of scammers, there's a lot of gurus that try to lie, right? It's a very complicated field in order for you to like last longer, right? Which is why it will reflect who you are as a person. If you're strong enough, if you're disciplined enough to be in this very difficult space, it's gonna reflect all of that, right? And yeah, this was trading psychology video for you guys. We're gonna have a lot of more parts for this psychology talks because there's a lot more that needs to be discussed, but I don't want to have this video being like 4 hours long, so yeah, I don't want to keep you guys for any longer. I will see you guys in the next video.